Uh, Hello, YouTube viewers and Transformers. Hopefully, be a quick and successful video review. Today we have one of the look here is Outback's box. The back, accurate in his robot mode. He transforms back and forth with modes in just 7 steps. He can have a Titan Master or a Prime Master sit inside him. Top of his Outback rules. That's going the long way. I don't know how accurate that is. It appears in some of the comic books. Here's a quick look at Outback's. And the version I have is the one where Prima, so Prima Outback reads, Freedom Fighter, aliens across the universe. Okay, I don't know if Outback is much of a leader. I've always seen him as going Outback behind the red, faster Autobots. But yes, here is Outback in his vehicle. Original that was 60. Powered once again, a repaint of Brawn, and to my knowledge, every toy of Outback that exists is in fact a repaint and retool of Brawn. Now, unlike the original Generation 1 Outback toy, the only retooling that Power of the Primes Outback has from Brawn is a new head sculpt, and when I transformed him into vehicle mode, I noticed that Outback does have a slightly boxier shaped head compared to Brawn, so his head is easier to rotate back and forth between robot and vehicle mode transformations. He does roll fairly well, even though this is a carpeted surface. He does roll fairly well. One thing you can do with Outback, just like with Brawn, is you can remove this piece of his roof, which contains the spare tire, and it doubles as his weapon in robot mode, and you can attach it here to the front if you want to distinguish him from Brawn, or if you do not, you can have it attached in the same spot as Brawn, but most Transformers fans that I know of keep their Transformers toys transformed in robot mode, so probably isn't too relevant in vehicle mode unless you want to do a stop motion video. Now, the reason I'm not bringing out Brawn for a vehicle mode comparison is because I have him transformed in robot mode and I'm live streaming just for the sake of time. But for some quick size comparisons in vehicle mode, here is Power of the Primes Outback next to Cosmos with his partner Payload. My apologies for not adjusting the camera sooner, but yeah, there's Outback next to Cosmos. For size comparison with a toy in the same toy line, here he is next to Deluxe Class Moon Racer. So, Outback is a fairly standard size Legends class Transformers toy. For a size comparison with a Voyager class toy, here he is next to Combiner Wars Voyager class Optimus Prime, and just the other day, yesterday in fact, I decided to paint Combiner Wars Optimus Prime's hubcaps silver. I don't know if I'm going to do that with any of my Titans Return and Power of the Primes Legends class toys. I might someday, but I don't know if I'm going to do that now. But for one last special size comparison, unfortunately I will not bring this toy out in robot mode again for the sake of time, since I am live streaming this video review. But here is Power of the Primes Outback next to his Deluxe Class Reveal the Shield counterpart, who was released back in 2011. Transformers Reveal the Shield Fallback. So for the longest time, Hasbro was unable to obtain a registered trademark to the word Outback as the name for a Transformers character, but they did manage to release toys of the character under the new name of Fallback, and I'm amazed that Hasbro was able to get back a registered trademark for Outback's name by placing the word Autobot in front of it. So his name is Outback once again. Now, Outback is one of the more controversial Transformers characters due to the fact that in the American version of the Transformers Generation 1 cartoon, because he shares his name with the largest desert in Australia, when Outback spoke, he spoke with a heavy Australian accent, and there have been a handful of Transformers characters over the years who've spoken with heavy accents when they've spoken in English, but Outback was the first Transformers character who started the controversy of, do Transformers have to have accents when they speak English, or do they not? Because they are alien robots from outer space. Now you'll notice, compared to his Reveal the Shield Deluxe class counterpart, Outback is missing something. Now every toy of Outback, except for this one, the brand new Power of the Primes Legends class version of Outback, has come with a laser gun attached to the roof of him, and so what I've decided to do is I've decided to donate, to have Huffer, Combiner Wars Huffer, donate his laser gun to Outback. To my knowledge, Huffer never actually used a laser gun in the G1 cartoon, although he probably did in some of the first episodes. But yes, I think having Combiner Wars Huffer's laser gun attached to Outback's roof, it does work for him. And if you don't like having the tiny peg plugged into the spare tire, you can also plug the laser gun here into the port on his roof. But unfortunately, this extension here in the back gets in the way of the spare tire, so you won't be able to push it down all the way. Okay. On the original Generation 1 Outback toy, his laser gun did, in fact, plug into the spare tire, so this configuration right here is more accurate to the original G1 Outback toy, but it's all your personal preference. And also, you can, if you want, put the spare tire here on the center roof of his vehicle mode and have Outback's laser gun pointing out like that, so either way it works. So yeah, this same laser gun was also sold with, in addition to Combiner Wars Huffer, it was also sold with Combiner Wars Pipes, Generations Thrilling 30 Legends Class Optimus Prime, and also Generations Thrilling 30 Cliff Jumper. So I think it is a shame that Hasbro couldn't use, since this laser gun weapon was used on 4 previous Legends Class Transformers toys, why they couldn't do it a 5th time here for Outback. Outback, that's beyond me, but to get on with Outback's transformation, the first step is to remove his spare tire and plug it here onto his back. And then you want to fold the back of his truck motor out for his legs, and then this part I always forget to do when I transform Brawn. You want to come down here, and there are heel spurs to help this toy mold stand up in robot mode. You want to come here and unplug the sides of the truck, which become the robot mode arms. Bring them down at the shoulder joint. Rotate the lower arms so the fists are facing forward. Straighten out the legs. And then, technically you don't have to rotate Outback's face. You can leave it rotated forward for when he's in robot mode, but I think hiding the face when the head is still exposed, it does add more to the phrase of robots in disguise when you can hide the face as much as possible, even if you can't hide the entire head. So my apologies, I'm still struggling to get camera angles good on this guy, but insert this into his hand, and there is Outback in robot mode. Now for me, I don't like the idea of the spare tire being a flat box-shaped arm cannon, and I don't do that with Brawn. I leave it plugged into his back like I have with Outback here. And speaking of Brawn, for some size comparisons in robot mode, here is Outback next to his mold mate, Titan's Return Legends Class Brawn. And for a special size comparison, here is Outback next to Titan's Return Wheelie. Generations Thrilling 30/IDW Tailgate, Thrilling 30/IDW Swerve, Combiner Wars Pipes, and last but definitely by no means least, here's the original Generations Thrilling 30/IDW Legends Class Bumblebee toy that was released back in 2014, and basically I'm using this guy as a substitute for the Minibot character of Hubcap. So yes, here is Outback surrounded by his fellow 1986 Minibots. I love the fact that, compared to the other toy molds, Outback is slightly taller because Brawn was slightly bulkier, and it makes sense since Outback is mold mates with Brawn, he'd be slightly bulkier than the other robots. So yes, that's pretty good. Now, most people exclude Hubcap as a character from the G1 toy line because Hubcap never actually appeared in the Transformers Generation 1 cartoon, although some people argue that a robot that looked just like Hubcap appeared for a split second in the Transformers Generation 1 movie. Basically, it was an animation error where there were two versions of Bumblebee on a conveyor belt that were about to be devoured by Unicron, along with Spike and also Jazz and Cliffjumper. But for me, I like to include Hubcap, and with the release of Outback Hubcap is the only mini-bot from the original Generation 1 toy line who has yet to have been given a Legends class toy in any of the subgroup of toys in the Generations toy line. But considering the fact that there are multiple Legends class versions of Bumblebee, I think just substituting a Legends class Bumblebee for Hubcap works off. And speaking of the Minibots, my apologies for covering the camera there for a moment as I move the screen back, bringing Outback forward since he's the star of the video. For size comparison with some other Transformers, we'll bring back Brawn. Here is Bumblebee. This is the version that came in a 2-pack with the Dark of the Moon Deluxe Class Bumblebee that was sold exclusively at Toys R Us, and supposedly this version has Bumblebee's paint job from the G1 cartoon, while this version has his appearance in IDW's comic books. I decided to finally use this one as my substitute Hubcap because its paint job is almost a reverse of Legends class Cliffjumpers. Here also in the back is Beachcomber, Power the Prime's Beachcomber, Power Glide, bring back Huffer, Gears, Warpath, Cosmos again, Windcharger, and last but definitely by no means least, Sea Spray. See if I can adjust the camera just for a second to get them all on view. So there they are. Or if you have two Legends S versions of Bumblebees, you can use one of them as a substitute for Hubcap. But with the release of Outback, I myself have personally completed my entire collection of mini-bots from the original Transformers Generation 1 toy line. As far as I'm concerned, including Hubcap, with the release of Autobot Outback and the Power of the Primes toy line, all the mini-bots are done. I don't care if an official Legends class toy of Hubcap is released because there's multiple Bumblebees that can allow a substitute Hubcap to exist. So yes, I think it is amazing that Outback has finally joined his fellow Autobot mini-bots, and the Transformers Generations toy line has become only the second Transformers toy line to have all 16 of these Transformers characters released, the first one being the original G1 toy line. And in the Generation 1 toy line, all 16 of the mini-bots were released across 2.5-year time period from 1984 to 1986, and the first of these toys released was Bumblebee back in 2014, and since it's now 2018, it took 4 years, but Hasbro finally managed to release all 16 of the mini-bots. And if there was any one of the mini-bots that I would love to see get a new release besides Windcharger and Tailgate, and in case anyone's asking why did I bring out the first versions of Windcharger and Tailgate, I personally believe that they are more size accurate when standing next to the rest of these mini-bots compared to the new Legends class toys. But if there was one of the mini-bots I'd love to see get a new Legends class toy, it would have to be Warpath, because let's face it, making Warpath at the mold mates with Megatron, it doesn't quite work that well. But yes, I think most of these toys are done up pretty well. They are accurate in robot mode. They are pretty good accuracy-wise in vehicle mode. And am I upset that I had to give Outback Huffer's weapon, sort of, but considering the fact that Huffer usually complained on the battlefield and he never actually tried to pick a fight with any of the Decepticons, I think it's more fitting that Outback has this weapon now compared to Huffer. I tried to buy a duplicate version of Huffer off of Amazon.com, but I decided it wasn't worth the price tag that Huffer's now going for, so if you have Huffer, Pipes, or Cliffjumper, or Legends class Optimus Prime from the Thrilling 30 toy line that was released back in 2014, any one of those weapons can. And this weapon is the one that I believe is the perfect one for Outback to have, because the tinier peg here on this side of the weapon is the right size for the hole on the top of the spare tire, and it just surprised me that Hasbro never officially released that. So thank you so much for watching. This has been a video review of Transformers Power of the Primes Legends Class Autobot Outback. This is the TF Geek. Thank you so much for enjoying the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a great day.